Hey there, I'm Nate,
And I'm Mabry.
and welcome back to Runaway Rope Drop. This is the ultimate guide to pin trading video. Climb aboard, let's have some fun.
Now we're going to where are these pin boards, cast members, guests. So to start with where the cast members are, the big one, gift shops.
Yep.
Look in every gift shop, whether it's at the end of a ride or just like standalone, like the Emporium, or if you're in the Springs or downtown in any of those Disney shops. It would only be in the Disney branded shops, not in like the Stance or the Lego store. They don't have them.
No.
In the Disney stores.
Yep.
Generally it's at the cash register. If it's a busier store, sometimes it's by where they might have pins. The next one is within the parks. You're going to want to always stop at guest relations. You might have to wait in a little bit of a line because they're actually helping people, so you need to wait. But you just go up and ask, hey, can I look at your pin board? All four parks at World and both at Land have this.
Yep.
There's also, within the park, you have the guest experience booths. So if you have questions about lightning lanes or where stuff are, those tents also usually have a small pin board, which usually not always the best stuff, but sometimes they are really good.
Yeah.
Like at Hollywood Studios, definitely stop at the one outside of Tower of Terror and Rock and Roller Coaster because they have a really nice book that's got
and we
some
got
really good pins.
Heat
yeah. So that's another one where you just ask. Sometimes it's out, sometimes it's not. Just ask and see. For lanyards and sashes, they're roaming. Sometimes they're working in stores. Sometimes it's they're like the people that are cleaning, your janitorial staff. Sometimes it's like those higher ups, managers and supervisors that are roaming the park. You'll just look for the lanyard or the sash, and if you see it, you just walk up and say, hey, can I look at your pins? When you start, it feels really awkward, but they are asked that hundreds of times in the day. So it's really not that awkward for them, but just ask, walk up, can I look at your pins? And I generally try to be quick when I'm with a cast member because they're doing a job and you don't want to waste so much time. If you see they're actively helping somebody at the time, don't interrupt to ask to pin trade, just watch for the people.
You gotta have a head on a swivel.
Head on a swivel.
They're everywhere. Just gotta be looking for them.
Make sure to stop at restaurants and food carts throughout the park or the Springs, downtown. Sometimes they have boards at like their check-in area. And then the last place you can check is all of the resorts.
Yep.
So at World, that's significant because there's
over 25 resorts.
Over 25 resorts you can go to. Take all of the Disney transportation to visit them. And then at Land, there's just 3 resorts, which you can walk to all of them. But stop at, there's a few spots you want to go to. Their front desk, their merch, shops, whatever they have, they're selling things. Dining locations, DVC counter, community hall space, kids spaces, sometimes out like by the pool or like an outdoor area they might have pin boards. Generally you can go to the front desk or the lobby and then ask them where you have other pin boards and they can generally tell you.
Yep.
But that's always really fun if it's a day you don't have park tickets or you just arrived and it's not a day you're going to the parks.
So talked about where to find the pin boards and pin trading with cast members, but as we talked about, you can trade with other guests that are at Disney. So in Disneyland, there is one specific location that a lot of other pin traders go to, which is Frontierland. So if you're in the Disneyland park and you walk under the banner that says Frontierland and look to your left, there'll be about 4 or 5 tables set up, and those are for pin traders to set up their books and their lanyards or whatever they have to trade. And so you can just walk up to them and ask and look through them, or you can trade with them. The bummer thing right now with Frontierland trading is that they have a cutoff time at 3 p.m. It's a park rule. They're just doing it
because there's a parade that goes through.
Yes, and so they don't want a bunch of people in that area while the parade cuts through Frontierland. So it's kind of a bummer that it gets cut off at 3. Lots of good pin traders, lots of nice people, and you might find some really cool stuff. At the other side of the country at Disney World, there's a few more spots that pin traders like to hang out. One of the more popular ones is Sid's in Hollywood Studios. As soon as you walk through the gates of the park, again, go to your left, and you'll see the neon sign that says Sid's. There is a pin board already in there, but a lot of pin traders will just sit in this little like meeting space, and they'll have their books out, and you can again talk to them, pin trade, all that good stuff. Underneath Spaceship Earth at Epcot is another really good hub for pin trading. So there is a pin trading store underneath, and right outside of that, there'll be a line of pin traders that are, again, looking to trade. So check that out. We found some heat underneath Spaceship Earth this last trip. And then the last spot that we'll talk about is actually in Disney Springs. So there's a pin store in Disney Springs. It's kind of a round gazebo-like store. And behind the building, there's some spaces to sit and again spread out and pin trade. So check out all those locations if you want to talk to more pin traders, see what they have, make some trades.
Typically at World, because Land it shuts down at 3 p.m., but at World, typically in the evening is when you're going to get the best trading, because a lot of them are locals that get off work and come and pin trade. So make sure to check later in the day versus earlier. If you are just now getting into pin trading, you're going to want to know what's popular, what I should be looking for, what I should automatically trade for if I see it, just to have as quality traders. The first one is going to be your hidden Disney pins. So, for example,
which were formerly known as hidden Mickey pins, but they changed it.
Yes.
Because
now it includes Marvel, Star Wars, and Pixar. So the original is got the little Mickey head, which you can see zoomed in on the screen. That's going to be like what the hidden Disney formerly looked like, and now is still just on the Disney themed pins.
Yes.
Then for your Marvel, there's a little Avengers symbol on there. For Pixar, there's the Pixar ball. And then for Star Wars, you have the Resistance symbol. If you see any of those symbols on a pin, that means it's a hidden Disney or former hidden Mickey pin. Those are really good traders because those come in mystery packs, so you can't just purchase the set. You have to trade for them. And most blind bags, blind boxes are one set within a bag or a box. These hidden Disneys, you have multiple sets that are all within one blind pack you can get. So if I'm currently, this is the 2025 one, when they do start selling them, they have the 25 years of pin trading, they have castles, they have headbands. If you're trying to get all the headbands, you might get a bag that has nothing but a castle and a pin trading one, and so they're hard to collect. These also come with what are called chasers. So like some of them will say 1 of 5 or 1 of 6 or 1 of 3. Make sure you look online to see if that set includes a chaser or a completer or a super chaser. So this Admiral Akbar is a chaser, as well as our Hal, the little cockroach from WALL-E. These ones, when you look at the back, it'll say chaser, completer, super chaser. Those ones are going to be ones that other people are really going to be looking for because there's less of them.
Yes, they're rare.
They're more rare. So if you see those, grab those real quick. Make sure you're looking out for limited edition, limited release pins like we talked about earlier. Those could just be on cast lanyards, pin boards. Just kind of do a little bit of research beforehand, or just ask. If it looks like a fancy pin, ask if you can take it off and look at it. Can't hurt. Then there's also open edition pins, which means they're the ones that are in the shops on like the cardboard backing. They're not like a mystery, like you can just go buy them at any point, but if you're trading for them, you're likely going to get a better deal than spending the $15 or more to purchase the pin in the store. So look out for what's currently being sold in stores or what has recently been retired from the stores. The last types of pins you're looking for are your booster packs and your lanyard sets. So those are if you don't want to purchase pins online beforehand and you would rather purchase within the park, you can get these booster packs that have about 4 to 6 pins. They're generally the cheapest pins you're going to be able to purchase at the park, and they're meant for trading away to get other pins. Same with your lanyard set, except it comes with a lanyard, whereas the booster pack is just the pins. You also have blind bags and mystery boxes. Those are just as they sound. You don't know what's in it. You purchase it, you open it afterwards. Those ones are going to be more popular for trading with guests because everybody's trying to complete those sets in those series.
So yeah, those are the good ones that you're looking out, but unfortunately there are also bad pins.
Boo-boos.
So often referred as scrappers or boo-boos or bad pins, trash pins,
Fake pins. Yeah.
whatever you want to call them. Unfortunately, there are people out there that try to replicate Disney pins, and then they're now being sold online, and now they've cycled into the parks, and it's a little bit of a bummer. So yeah, these are not official Disney trading pins, and
they'll say it on the back though.
And they'll try to do their best to make it look just like the real pin, but they're not. So the question is, how can you tell what is a scrapper from a real pin? There are a few ways to kind of look at it and feel and check. They're not all surefire ways to confirm or deny whether it is or is not a real pin, but these are things to look for and to look out as you're pin trading. So if the pin is not shiny, if it's a matte, not unreflective pin, when you move it around and look at it in the light, it could be a fake pin. If the waffling on the back, so the Mickey pattern that's on the back of every pin, if it doesn't look crisp and clean and cut into the metal, if it doesn't reach to the edge of the pin, it could be a fake pin. Waffling wasn't a thing on the back of pins until after 2009, so if there's no waffling, it doesn't automatically mean it's a fake pin. It just might be an older pin.
Check the year.
So check the year, check it out.
Yeah. This is an example of one. It's from 2002, and so it just has texture on the back. Some of those older ones are just textured, or they have like cross hatching, which is where waffling comes from, or it's just blank. So the Mickey heads aren't on all of them.
Yes. The next thing to look for when you're trying to identify a scrapper pin is if there's dips in the enamel. So
like this one, which you can see up close.
In the process of them making these fake pins, they will dip, or
it's a different type of enamel.
Yes, they don't do the exact same process that Disney does.
They're cheaper.
What you can do is you can run your fingers or your thumb over the pin, and you can usually feel the dip, or if like the metal or the transition from one color to the next feels kind of rigid or not smooth, it could be a fake pin. If the pin you took off of a board doesn't look right and has like colors that don't match the way it should look, it could be a fake pin. Example, we stumbled upon a pin of Snow White that had red eyeballs. Snow White does not have red eyes. So if you see something that's not right, like if a Disney princess is wearing a green dress and she typically wears a blue dress, it's probably a fake pin.
Yeah. And you can look it up online. Look up a picture of it and you can see what it should be.
Exactly. Lastly, if the pin, as you're holding it, feels light and it's not a very thick pin and it just feels kind of just cheap, it could be a fake pin.
Yeah.
The more you pin trade and the more you handle pins, you'll be able to kind of feel and get an understanding of what to look for and what it should look like and feel like as far as what a real pin is. So yeah, just the more that you do it, the more you'll kind of get a feel for it.
And here's the thing, just because you can tell it's fake, if you like it, take it.
Keep it.
Okay, it's your collection.
Yeah.
So we have a few of ours that we know are fake that we're looking for the real ones. Placeholder, I'll take it just to have it. Yeah. So my set is complete. So scrapper doesn't always have to mean bad, don't get it ever.
Yep.
Okay, what do you need to start pin trading and start building your collection? The first thing that you're going to need, which is pretty obvious, is pins. I touched on this a little bit ago. You can purchase them online. Just be careful. If it doesn't have the words authentic or official Disney trading pins, it's probably going to be a bunch of those scrappers, boo-boos, fake pins. If you're paying like $1 a pin, they're not going to be real. You might end up with like 1 or 2 that are real in a lot of like 100.
Yeah.
So just read the fine print very carefully, because they word it in a way that sounds like it's real, and they're not.
Yep.
If you're paying $5 or more per pin, they're more likely to be real, and you might have a few that aren't. They're just going to be your lower value pins, but you at least know that they're authentic.
Yep.
If you're buying for your kids, though, like young kids that you're going to let do kind of their own trading and are likely to take fake pins off the boards, if you don't care and just want to get a bunch of $1 pins for them to end up with a bunch of $1 pins,
Why not?
cool, go for it.
Yep.
You decide what you want to do for you and your family. If you don't want to go that route and you want to make sure you're getting quality, authentic pins, just wait till you're in the Disney bubble and purchase those booster packs, those lanyard sets, those blind boxes, the mystery packs.
Yep.
Those are great ways to know that you're getting a decent price for multiple pins, but you also know they're authentic. Item number 2 that we got when we first started pin trading was lanyards. These are Buckle Down brand, not sponsored. Hit us up though. These, like, you can see that they're stretchy, they're a softer material. I've stabbed many pins through this, and you can still see like the characters and designs on it. Love them. You can also get a little charm for the bottom. Some people get one for every year that they go. But this is a great way to display your pins so people can see that you're pin trading, and they might come up to you and ask to trade with you. And it's quick and easy. You wear it, you walk up to a board, you can trade right off of you.
And then if you're going on a ride or something, you can pull it off, throw it in your bag, and pull it off for later.
Yeah.
With lanyards, if you're in the parks or whatever, wear them often as you can, because there are other guests and cast members that will like wave you down because they saw your lanyard. So have it on. It's kind of a fun like little display thing, but also, yeah, people will stop you and ask you about your pin, so wear your lanyards.
Buckle Down, highly recommend.
Seriously.
Or you can just get lanyard sets in the park.
Yep.
The other thing, which I've recently gotten really into, is these pin folios by GoPin Pro. If you're interested in Disney at all and have done any Disney research on pins, I'm sure that they have popped up on your Instagram, but for a good reason, because they're awesome.
Oh yeah.
These, like, you can see in the video I have on the screen, but like, your pins can't fall out. They've patented this like foam, I don't even know what it is, but can't fall out. They're stuck in there. So you're less likely to lose a pin versus on a lanyard or just like floating around in your bag. And then I like to keep the backs, a few backs in here for if I trade with somebody that needs a back. But it's just such a great way to like display your pins, and then you can also put your keepers in here. As you get them throughout the day, you can have like a page dedicated to like, these are the ones I'll keep. So when I'm with a trader, I can say I'm trading this page in the front, or have these be your keepers. These are open for trade. There have been times I've had it where like my back page I'll leave decent but low value ones for like kids that are interested in pin trading. But yeah, these are awesome. 10 out of 10. Highly recommend. They have bigger ones. Well, technically smaller. You can get like just little foam cards, inserts.
We're not sponsored, but
hit us up. We'd love to be. The last thing you're going to want is when you get home, you're going to have all these really cool pins that you don't just want to throw in a bin in your closet. We get these cork boards that you can add like cloth to make them fun themed, but then you just poke your pin in and keep the backs in a bag, and then you can hang them on your walls or display them on shelves, and it's a really cute way to be able to see these things that you did a lot of work into collecting. So that's what we have, and that's what we do. Love it.
To wrap this up, we're going to talk about some tips and some tricks that we've learned as we've done pin trading, and kind of some things that we're going to share with you guys. For starters, know what you're looking for. There's tens of thousands of pins now that have been created, and
so many themes.
And it can be overwhelming. So having a direction as far as what you're looking for can really help. So if there's a specific movie or show or character or even rides that you're really into, know those and plan to look for those, because sometimes cast members or guests will ask like, oh, what are you trading for? And if you have a quick answer like, oh, I'm looking for Star Wars pins, or I'm looking for Rapunzel pins, then they might know, oh, I have a pin that fits what you're looking for, and they can pull it out, and then now you got a super cool pin of something that you're looking for.
They want to be the magic. One note with that is make sure that you don't pick something so specific. Like if you're like, I love Tarzan, and I'm only getting Tarzan pins. I can't remember the last time I've seen a Tarzan pin.
Very rare.
They're very rare, and you're just going to be very discouraged. So, like, for me, it's Tangled. They exist, just not very common. So I also do Villains, which is very broad, and Cars, which, depending on which coast you're at.
True.
And Star Wars, very broad, but then Incredibles is a little more specific, and then we do, like, Marvel. So, have kind of broadness to what you're looking for, so you're not just sad.
The next tip or trick that we have is to do trivia prep. So as we talked about earlier, there are trivia pins that you might want to go after, and if you don't know anything, then you're not going to be able to look at those pins. To prep for the trivia that you might be asked, rewatch your favorite movies, Disney, Pixar, Star Wars, Marvel shows, all of that stuff could be into play. You can play different trivia games like Trivia Pursuit or whatever that they have, like the Disney version. On YouTube, there's some videos that people put together that are like 100 Disney trivia questions. So you can watch those and test your knowledge there. As a family, we've done Sporcle, which is an online site with a bunch of different trivia questions, so you can do that. And then lastly, on Disney Plus, there's some really cool shows like Behind the Attraction, where they talk about how rides were made or when they were made, and sometimes they'll ask you park specific trivia, so if you know those things as well.
The next tip, trick, hack is get the Google app on your phone, because you can use, I think it's called Google Lens, and you can take a picture of a pin if you just got it and have no clue what it is, how to look it up. Because there's some pins that you have no clue what it is to even type something. But it'll take a picture of it, scan it, and pull up Google searches based on that image. So you can see if it's selling on eBay, what it's selling on eBay for, and maybe like the name of the pin, so you can look it up, figure out the part of the series, something you're interested in. Yeah. But that was a cool thing. Another thing is, especially if you're doing lanyards and are putting nice pins on your lanyard, get permanent backs for them. You can buy them in the park, you can buy them online, and use an Allen wrench to tighten them so that your pins can't fall off, instead of those rubber Mickey backs that can pop off. Because
it's happened.
There is a chance you will lose a pin off this if you're not careful. The next hack, tip, trick is, if you're going with a group or your family, put together like a shared document. So we have like a Google Slides that each of us has a slide of our current collection. So our pin board is what we currently have. And then the next slide is what I'm looking for. Sets that I'm trying to complete, specific pins that I want or need. That way we all can be looking out for each other, because we're all adults, so we're not all in the same spot at the same time always. So if I'm trading on the other side of the park, I know my sister loves Encanto. I can quick look and see if she has that pin already or if she wants it before I trade for it. You'll also forget about the pins you have in your own set sometimes, so having photos readily available makes it so you don't have to bring all of your pins to the parks.
And then our last tip, trick, hack that we have is you can fly and get through TSA with pins. So if you have pins in your personal item or your carry-on item, they can go through the security and the metal detector and be just fine. Yes, you can put them in your check bag, but if you want, to take them out while you're waiting for your flight, you put them in your personal item. They'll go through TSA. It might get flagged. I know one time mine got flagged, but they've seen pins before and they know what they are. And so if they're digging through your backpack and they find your pins that set off the metal detector, they're like, oh, it's these, and they'll put it back. And
but they're going to Disney.
Yeah, and you can go about your business. So it might happen, you might get flagged, but they know what they are, and so you should be completely fine.
I think that's it, though, for our pin trading 101, everything you need to know. If there's something that you know that we missed, make sure to put it in the comment, so that way if somebody watches this and it's their first time, they make sure that they get all the information that's possible, or if there's things that we don't even know about.
Yeah. We want this video to be kind of the one-stop shop for pin trading. So yeah, if there's other things that you've learned or you know about, drop a comment. That way anyone that's learning about pin trading can find everything they need to know right here.
Also comment if you know of any really good, consistent boards. So if somebody's going and doesn't have a lot of time, make sure to stop at XYZ, like the Animal Kingdom entrance pin.
Yes, that's the clutch one.
That's a good one. That's all we got for you today.
That's what we have. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, you can hit that subscribe button because we're going to keep putting out more stuff here on YouTube. Check us out on Instagram at Runaway Rope Drop, all lowercase. We put other videos and stuff over there that might be different from YouTube. So if you want to keep hanging out with us, check us out over there as well. But that's what we got. See ya.
Choo choo!